Hello there. My name is John Botting, and I wanted to do a video about the scams that take place in Pattaya, Thailand, particularly Pattaya because that's the main area I know. There are other scams taking place in other parts of Thailand, I know, but I want to talk specifically about Pattaya. Why am I doing this video? Well, I lived in Thailand for 6 years and worked out there in Pattaya. I owned two businesses out there, so I'm very well adverse to what goes on. You need to live in a country to really fully understand it and to have your eyes opened as well. Also, whilst I was there, I was a foreign police volunteer. So I also got to know a lot of what was going on that maybe expats didn't know, and also certainly a lot of tourists wouldn't know. So the video is going to give you some advice really about that. I could do a video about being an expat in Thailand and Pattaya particularly, and the scams that take place, but that's not what I'm going to do, because there's different scams that take place being an expat and living out there than there is being a tourist. So what I want to do on this video is just highlight a few of the sort of top scams that take place in Pattaya, and for you to be aware of that so that you've got your eyes open to things taking place. Because if you are forewarned, you are forearmed in sort of knowing what might happen. So please like and share this video, help spread the word. Share the video with people you know that may well be going to Pattaya, and just let them know about what to look out for, because then there's less chance of them being harmed. I'm a former UK police officer. I was a police officer in the 1980s and 1990s. When I moved out to Thailand and lived out in Thailand, after about 3 or 4 years, I decided to join the Royal Thai Police Foreign Volunteer section. And I'll explain to you a little bit about that now, so you understand what that means. So in Thailand, there are 3 types of foreign police volunteers. You have the tourist police volunteers, and you have the tourist police, who are Thai, and then you have the tourist police volunteers who are foreigners, what the Thais called Farang. They're uniformed, and in Pattaya you see them walking up and down Walking Street. That's where they mainly are. You might see them on Beach Road possibly, but predominantly they're in Walking Street. They even have a mobile police station at the top of Walking Street, with a desk and things like that, and you'll see them there. The second type of police volunteer is the Royal Thai Police. So this is the main police force in Thailand. I don't know if they have the foreign police volunteers for the Royal Thai Police outside of Pattaya, but they certainly do in Pattaya. They're uniformed, and they are based in the police station, the main police station in Pattaya. And the last type of foreign police volunteer is the immigration police. So if you are a long-term tourist or a long-time visitor, you will certainly know of the immigration police. And the immigration police foreign volunteers are undercover, and basically they're spies. So they basically spy on people, and they dob people in who are visa overstayers and things like that. So that's the 3 types of foreign police volunteers. And as I said, you'll see the tourist police volunteers outside of Pattaya. Don't think you'll see them in Bangkok. I've never seen them in Bangkok, but you'll certainly see them in Phuket. You'll see them in places like Koh Samui, Chang, places like that, and obviously Pattaya, I think, is probably the biggest section for the foreign tourist police volunteers. So with the Royal Thai Police volunteers, what we used to do was we worked in the main police station. We had a desk in the main police station, and any expat that had an issue or any tourist that had an issue, we would encourage them to come and see us first, tell us what the problem is, and we could direct them to the right people within the police station, or maybe give them words of advice, telling them not to proceed with the police for whatever reason. So we used to help out any foreigner, tourist or expat that was living in Thailand, with any issues they might have with the police. Lots of stories I can tell you about the scams that go on. One of them I fell foul of myself, which I'll talk to you about towards the end. But lots and lots of crime that takes place out there. At the end of the video, I will give you some crime prevention advice. So please stay tuned to the end of the video, because as well as talking about the scams that take place, I will also talk about some of the crimes that take place, common crimes, and how to prevent yourself being a victim. This is going to be a simple video with just me talking to you. No pictures of BART buses and bars and things like that. It's just me talking to you, basically. So that is what it is. So let's go on to the scams then. And this is in no particular order. This is just the scams, the main scams that are taking place in Pattaya. The first one is bill padding. If you've never been to Thailand before, then when you go to a bar, you don't pay for your drinks as you go. You have a paper bill that's written out. So if you order a beer, and that's all you order, they write out like a paper bill and they put it into a little wooden pot. And that stays either with you or it can stay behind the bar sometimes as well. And every time you have a drink, another bill goes in and another bill goes in and things like that. So what's the scam that takes place here? Obviously, they can add extra bills. So if you have a heavy session in a bar, you will probably lose track of how many beers or drinks you are buying, and you might buy 10, and when you come to pay your bill, there might be 12 in there. Okay, or you might buy 2 or 3, and when you come to pay your bill, there's 4 in there. So just keep an eye on the number of drinks that you are drinking and make sure that they're not adding more bills to your pot. It's quite common, this. If it happens to you, then question it with the bar, but don't start getting too overzealous about it. That's the same with anything that happens in Thailand totally, because it can escalate very, very quickly. So my advice is, if you feel that you've been overcharged, tell them, say, well, hang on a minute, I only had 2 drinks and I've got 3 in here, so I'm only going to pay for 2. Now, they might back down, they might stick their feet in and say, no, you've had 3 drinks and you've got to pay for 3 drinks. Argue your corner to a certain extent. They might give way. If they don't, just pay the bill and walk away. I have seen people start to get really out of their tree over this, start calling the police. You will never win. You will never win. The police will always take the side of a Thai. Okay, that's the life. So if you start bringing the police in and escalate it, it can get out of trouble. And so my advice is just pay the bill. Okay. BART buses. So in Pattaya, they have these buses running around there. They do fixed routes. They run around Pattaya, and they also go from Pattaya down to Jomtien. Okay. A single journey is 10 baht. Okay. So that is a single journey on the BART bus in the Pattaya central section. If you start going down to Jomtien, then expect to pay more, but let's just keep it simple. Talk about Pattaya. It's 10 baht for a single journey per person. So if there's 2 of you traveling, 20 baht. Okay. Make sure that you carry the right money with you. So if you're doing a single journey on your own, just have 10 baht with you. Okay, have a 10 baht note and just give them that. When you attempt to pay, they may well ask you for 20 baht. It happens a lot. Because you are a foreigner, they will double the price. Okay, so don't pay them 20 baht. Don't ask them how much it is. You just get off the BART bus when you want to get off. Go to the passenger side of the BART bus and hand them a 10 baht note. Okay, or 10 baht in coins, whatever. Do not start giving them a 20 baht note or a 50 baht note, because you won't get change, or you might get change from a 50 baht note, but they'll only give you 30 baht back. They'll charge you 20 baht. Okay, so always have the correct change with you and only pay 10 baht for a journey. Motorbike taxis. So you've got the motorbike taxis that are driving around as well, the same as the BART buses. They're slightly more expensive. Do not just get on a motorbike taxi and just tell them where you want to go. So you want to tell them where you want to go first and ask them how much is it, okay, and get a deal done and dusted before you get on the motorbike, because they will take you to wherever you want to go and they will overcharge you because you are a foreigner. Okay, so negotiate before you get on the back of that motorbike. So if you want to go down to Jomtien, for example, from Pattaya, say to them, Jomtien Beach, how much? and they will tell you. Now, they might come back and say 100 baht, okay, or 70 baht, or whatever they say. If you're happy with the price, get on it, get on the backs. Just say, okay, 100 baht, 70 baht, 70 baht to Jomtien Beach. Yes, get on the back of the taxi, and off you go. You could try and negotiate. If they charge you 100 baht, you could turn around and say, no, I'll give you 70 baht. And if they say, okay, 70 baht, say it's 70 baht to go down there, just again, repeat it back so they understand that you know you're paying them 70 baht, and then go and go down to Jomtien, okay? And then again, if you've got change on you, give them the right money. If you start giving them 100 baht notes or 500 baht notes, the chance of you getting the right change is going to be, it's probably not going to happen. So have small change with you whenever you use any of like the BART buses or the motorbike taxis. Okay, now we're going to start going on to slightly more serious scams now that you have got more potential to lose more money. So the first one is the motorbike rentals. So there are thousands of motorbike rental places that you can go in Pattaya. A lot of them are decent and a lot of them will not rip you off. Okay, but there are some that will rip you off at the first opportunity. Now, you don't know where these ones are. You know, you just don't know because they're here. They come today and go tomorrow. Some of them have been set up for years. Some of them are only set up for a month. Okay, so the ones that have been set up for years probably are going to be more genuine than the more recent ones, because they've got a track history and they know that in the long run it's better off to be honest because they'll end up earning more money. So the first thing to do is when you decide you're going to rent a motorbike is take photographs of the motorbike, or better still, if you can, take a video of the motorbike, go all the way around it, take photographs of any damage, and let the motorbike rental company know that you are doing this before you sign any contracts. Okay. Second thing is that you need to make sure that they have the right insurance. Now, you need to ask, do you have insurance for foreigners? Because there's a special insurance for foreigners. Okay. Ask to see the insurance documentation. They will show it to you. They have to have it. Now, if it is a decent rental company, they will have the document in English. Now, one of the companies that I owned when I lived in Thailand I used to rent out cars. Okay, so when I took out insurance on my cars, I had to take out special insurance to rent them out to foreigners. And the insurance policies were in Thai and in English. Okay, so I had an English policy document and a Thai policy document. And it's exactly the same with the motorbikes. So ask to see the policy document to make sure it is in English and it will cover you being a foreigner. The second thing to do is do not ever, ever, ever leave your passport with them. A lot of them will ask you to leave your passport as security. Okay? Do not leave your passport with them. Say to them, no, take copy. Again, with cars, and cars are far more valuable than a motorbike is. So all we used to do with the cars was take a photocopy of the passport. It's just added security for us if something does go wrong or some issue happens, that we can go to the police with a passport, with a copy of the passport. Okay, and that's all they need from you as well with a motorbike. So do not ever leave your passport, because what they will do is they will turn around and say that there is damage to the bike, and they will tell you have to pay an exaggerated amount of money to have the damage repaired, which quite often they don't repair. And if you don't pay that money, they will keep your passport and they will hold it hostage until you pay. They will not give it back to you. And you can go and call the police and things like that, and the police will say, well, if you pay, you get passport back. Because again, the police will take the side of the motorbike rental companies. Okay. If they insist that you leave your passport, walk away and go to another company. And if that next company asks the same, walk away again. Do not ever leave your passport. Seriously, this is so important. Do not ever leave your passport with a rental company, be it a car rental company or a motorbike rental company. Okay. Also, make sure that you get a helmet as well with your bike rental. You should be given a motorbike helmet to wear. Wear it. It is illegal to ride a motorbike as a passenger or as a or the rider of the bike without wearing a crash helmet. You must wear one. If you get stopped by the police, you will be fined. Okay, so do not do not ride your motorbike without wearing a crash helmet. If you rent a motorbike, they must provide you with a crash helmet. If they do not, again, ask when you are renting, you have helmet, and they should say yes. If they don't, walk away to the next one. Okay. The next big issue, which again could cost you a lot of money, is the jet skis. Jet skis, particularly on Beach Road, and also Jomtien. Even the jet ski rental place, which is immediately outside the main Pattaya police station, is a scam. I'm not saying they're all scams, because they're not. Same as all the motorbike rentals are not all scams, and the jet ski rentals are not all scams, but there are some that are. And if you get caught by it, you're in for quite a lot of money, I tell you now. Okay, it's not unheard of for £1,000 or even more, you know, like 40, 50, 60, 100,000 baht, which is coming up for sort of £2,000, to do repairs, and you've got to pay it. What the scam is that they will rent you out the jet ski with damage on it. And most people just jump on the jet ski, they don't bother to look around it, and they don't bother to turn the jet ski over underneath the waterline to see if it is damaged. So what they will do is quite often there'll be damage below the waterline. So if the jet ski is in the water when you go to rent it, put it out onto the beach, okay? Or ask them, say, put it out onto the beach before you sign any paperwork, okay? Put it out onto the beach. Just turn it onto its side, and just go around it and sit sort of underneath, with the guys from the jet ski rentals. Let them know what you're doing. Video it again. Take any photographs of any damage that you see. Go back, turn it over onto the other side. Do the same again and have a look for damage, because what they do is there will be damage below the waterline. And when you go and rent it, quite often it will be sitting in the water, and you just jump on it and you don't know. You go out for your half an hour, you come back, and they will turn the jet ski over, and they will say, damage, you do damage, you do damage. And you didn't. That damage was there. It never gets repaired. That's the way they operate. Okay, so before you take the jet ski out, if it's in the water, bring it out, look at it, do a video of it. If there's any damage, take photographs before you sign any paperwork. Then sign the paperwork, and then off you go. There is far less chance of you being scammed if you do this. Okay, so what happens for most people is they don't do this. They go out. This is the places where they're scamming. Okay, they go out and they come back, and the jet ski company will turn the jet ski over, and they will show you some damage that you apparently have done. That damage has probably been there, could have been there for a good year. They just don't get it repaired because it's a huge money spinner for them. Okay, and then all of a sudden you have to pay it, and they will ask you for a lot of money for these jet skis. If this happens to you, you must keep calm, because it can escalate very quickly. And there is a video on YouTube that is worth searching out. It's to do with a group of British squaddies who rented out a jet ski from Pattaya Beach, and the scam was done on them, and they got out of hand, and there was a massive brawl, basically, where all the Thais joined in and they all fought against the British squaddies. So you keep calm and you say, well, I didn't do it. Okay, you're not going to win. Okay, but no, I didn't do it. They will say you did, and they will put a sum out to you. It's going to cost you 50,000 baht to repair this damage. Okay, negotiate. You do have chance of getting the price down. You might get it down to half price. You might get it down to 25,000, 20,000, possibly even less, with hard negotiation. Keep it good humored. Do not start getting angry. Do not start shouting. They do not like losing face, which is what they will be doing. They do not like foreigners shouting at them, and they will retaliate with being very aggressive, and even going to violence. If you start ranting and raving, refusing to pay and say that you're going to call the police. Again, I strongly advise you do not call the police, because when you call the police, you'll probably find that you'll be paying the full price. There will be no negotiating. It'll be the full price, may even be more if you get the police involved, and you won't win. So the best thing to try and do is negotiate with the person themselves, see if you can bring it down, pay, walk away, and learn a valuable lesson, and try and spread the word as much as you can about people doing this to tourists. The police are involved more often than not with these scams. And this is one of the biggest things as a foreign police volunteer at the what's called Soi 9 police station in Pattaya. One of the biggest things that people used to come in to try and get the police involved in, that they've been scammed to do with the jet skis. And we knew, the foreign police volunteers knew, that the police were in on the scam as well a lot of the time. Okay, so that's my advice to you on the jet skis, and potentially that's going to be the biggest amount of money you're going to lose is through that. So they are the main sort of scams aimed at tourists that operate in Pattaya. So now, as I said, I'm going to finish off with just a little bit of advice about some crimes that take place, some of the common crimes that take place in Pattaya. First one is theft of money from wallets, purses, pickpocketing, basically. Pickpocketing is not a massive issue in Pattaya or Thailand at all, in fact, but there is a problem. There is an issue with it, particularly on Beach Road, particularly on Walking Street in Pattaya, and any sort of busy area, same as in Bangkok, any of the busy streets. If your wallet is sticking out the back of your trousers, temptation is there, and somebody could come along and just take it and you won't be aware. So it's just a matter of being sensible. As with any other place in the world that you visit, just be sensible. Men, put your wallet in your front pocket. There is a lot less chance of your wallet being taken from you if it is in your front trouser pocket, front shorts pocket, not in your back pocket. Reason being is we are more sensitive in that area, so therefore somebody tries to put their hand in your pocket, you feel it more easier, and also it's slightly more harder to get it out than it is a back pocket. Ladies, with your handbags, do not have your handbag swinging behind you, or a rucksack. Don't have it sitting on your back if you've got your money in it. Have it on the front. So your handbag's around the front, a backpack on your front as well. Makes it, you can see what's going on then. One of the things that does happen is they sort of use to slice the back of your rucksack and take out stuff that's there, and you wouldn't know anything about it. Second thing is, one of the things that used to take place was jewelry snatches. So this is where people, believe it or not, are sitting on the back of BART buses. So normally on the BART bus, you've got your 2 rows of seats. And if you're sitting on the far end, so nearest the entrance and exit, and you're wearing jewelry, what happens is you have people, young men normally, going by on motorbikes, and they will come up right close to you. You won't be aware of what they're doing because they drive like maniacs in Pattaya and elsewhere in Thailand, and that's how they all are. So you won't be thinking that motorbike is very close to me because they drive close to you. But this one will come very close, and as they go past, the passenger will grab your necklace and will rip it off your neck. And that's what they do. And this happens. I'm not saying it happens every day, but it does happen. Okay, men, you get some men wearing great big gold chains. Why they do it, I do not know, but they do. It is temptation. So a motorbike will go along, do exactly the same as women. They will grab the chain, rip it off the neck, and they're gone. And you will not catch them. There's no way you're going to catch them. They're gone. They go around the back streets and they're lost. You can't contact the police, so it's gone. So do not flaunt your jewelry. I don't understand why people do it, but you know, living out there, as I said, I used to see it a lot. So do not flaunt your jewelry. Keep your jewelry back in the safe. And if you're watching this before you go, don't even take it with you. I mean, take wedding ring or something like that, of course, but I'm on about nice necklaces that are worth money, because there's a possibility they will be ripped off your neck. Now, this is, I said at the beginning that I had one thing happen to me, and this happened to me in a club. So if you are a single tourist, I was out on my own this particular, no, I wasn't. I was out with someone this particular night. But if you're a single tourist and you go to a club, what happened to me was a very well-known club in Walking Street. It's a club I'd never used to go to very often, but I went in there for this particular time with my partner at the time. And what they do is they basically watch you, particularly single tourists who are on their own. They will watch them. If you go off and have a little dance or go to the loo or something like that, and you leave your beer on the counter where you're standing, they will come along and they will dope it. So they'll drop a drug in and they spike it. And the whole idea is they then sit back and watch you drink it, and then watch you leave at some stage in the future. And they will then pounce on you as the drug takes effect and they rob you. Now, this happened to me, as I said. I left my beer on the bar, went to have a little dance, came back, took a swig of my beer, and I had a very bitter taste all of a sudden. Didn't swallow, spat it back out into my beer bottle. And I turned to my partner at the time and said, "Oh, that tasted really sour." Didn't think anything more of it, just thought that's strange, and spat it out. About 5 or 10 minutes later, I started to feel very, very woozy. Went out of the club and realized what had happened. My drink had been spiked. I was lucky I didn't swallow anything and spat it back out. But even with it being in my mouth, it had some effect on me. So that's something just to be aware of, that there are, again, it's not common, but there are groups of people that do go around, criminals that do go around, they do watch people, and they will take advantage by doing something like that. So if you leave your drink, I would advise you not to leave your drink. But if you do, and you do taste something slightly strange when you come back, don't swallow it, spit it out and leave the club. Get out into fresh air, basically. Okay, so wrapping up then, Pattaya is like any other tourist area in the world. There is good and there is bad. Not everywhere will rip you off. Most people are decent, law-abiding. They want to make money from the tourists, of course, but they are not criminals, and they're not into ripping you off, scamming you, or anything like that. They're decent people, just out to make a decent living and to provide for their families. But there are scams out there, and you do need to be aware of those scams if you are visiting Pattaya or Thailand. Because if you know about these scams, you can be aware and you can be ready to take action if somebody does start to do something to you. Okay, so enjoy Pattaya. It's a great place. Please like and share this video with people who are going, or just like and share it anyway. If you've got any comments to make about what's happened to you in Pattaya or anywhere else in Thailand, make a comment below. Be interesting to hear, to help warn people about what goes on out in Thailand. But as I said, don't worry too much. Just be aware, be sensible, take precautions, and enjoy yourself. Okay, thank you very much for taking time to watch the video. Bye-bye.